Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the show. I'm Jay
I'm Bobby Summers.
and we're bringing
What
opinionated conversations on a variety of topics from perspectives that really don't matter on the Everything Obsolete podcast.
What's up, everyone? How you doing? That's Jay Blaze. I'm Bobby Summers, and we're back for another episode of Everything Obsolete. Let's do it. Let's get into it. We have a bunch of stuff we kind of want to get into, as far as some sports news for sure. Whole bunch of stuff happened over this past week. Pretty much blew sports world up. Also have like just a little bit maybe of some pop culture to talk about. If you want to call it that, yeah, that's what we're gonna call it. I guess we'll call it pop culture.
Like current events, stuff that is going on right now.
Yeah, well, and recently, absolutely. I mean, that's probably gonna shoot for this particular episode, but we want to start off. Let's rewind a little bit. We want to what we were talking about in our last ep about what we want the Everything Obsolete podcast to kind of be about, and like in the trajectory of it, pretty much. Obviously, it's forever gonna grow as long as we stay committed, but we still have ideas even at the very earliest stages that we are. I guess
we're topics that are like current, like people that want to talk about that
in this infancy stage that we're of our podcast.
Just like everyday stuff that you go through that you discuss because things have changed or things are growing or it's every day is learning. So you learn things every day of different things.
Oh, I mean, are you talking about just in general, or
in general, whether it's pop culture, whether it's food, whether it's location,
sex education?
Well, yeah, that's a different topic.
It'll come into play at some point.
But just even like questions, topics, concerns that people talk about, and just don't have a space to talk about it. But maybe we could bring it up, conversation, opinions.
When it's obsolete, it belongs right here. You know what I mean? I mean, honestly, I definitely want it to be, especially with me and you. Just in general, I want it to be like, kind of like what our theme is,
Obsolete, it could be anything.
Well, no, more in general of like, the conversations that we're having and the opinions that we both have. They're not always going to be the same, and they're not always going to be, different. You know what I mean? Sometimes we're going to be on the same page. Sometimes we won't be. I want it to be authentic and genuine. I guess those are the words, and I think she would definitely want it to be. That's what the base of this.
Yeah. So if
pod.
you know something I don't, but you're telling me it's news to me, and it's new information, vice versa.
Yeah, vice versa. I'm with it. Like, and that's, and keeping our opinions and even just our dialogue just genuine and true and authentic to who we both are, together and separately.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I would think so. I mean, but that's like the immediate type of goals.
The overview of what we are trying to put out, pretty much.
The content we're trying to put out, definitely. The content, we definitely want it to be authentic and genuine as possible, even though it's our view, our opinion. You know what I mean? If it comes to the point where we get to engage with an audience, like in real time kind of stuff, still, I would want the audience to be as genuine and authentic as we're trying to be. So, good or bad, I mean, it doesn't matter to us, I think. You know what I mean? So
there's probably going to be a time that somebody, inboxes and says, hey, well, why don't you talk about this?
I mean, yeah, well, giving us like new ideas or just saying
new
why, like,
ideas, or be like, hey, why don't you guys talk about this? Because I'm pretty sure, either you see what's going on, you hear about it, or what have you, just our input, or just a topic they want us to talk about, but they're asking us.
I mean, I wish we could get that popping right off now. We got to get our cloud up. I mean, I'm always into something that someone has a thought and they're like, hey, what do you think on this? I mean, I'll tell them what I think. Whether it's not about it being wrong or right, I would think we would both be like, hey,
But it's just like simple things, like, because there's things that are like things that are not being used that we used as growing up, and now these kids these days don't do that. They don't even know what it is, you know. They're so into their devices that they don't know what it is to go outside and just walk around and kill time.
and
Just
actually conversate.
conversate, socialize, or just like take a
Like,
mental
what is they call
break.
human to human contact?
Yeah, well, we kind of lost that with COVID, but we're
No, but I mean, besides that, yeah, but
well, yeah,
obviously,
back to the basics.
yeah,
They don't know what that is.
but
But those are conversations, like, I'm pretty sure a lot of parents are out there like, damn, my kids, like, just don't know what the basics are because they're so used to having to do something every single day, but depending on something electronically every single day, something,
I mean, that's the
tech.
time we're in.
Yeah.
Which I could dig it. I mean, the tech has gotten a lot of these young kids rich as
Well,
hell.
there's also got a lot of kids on anxiety and all that stuff.
Facts.
Because
I was going the good way with it, but yeah, that it's also done that.
Yeah.
Got them in their feelings a little bit. I mean, because it's more in their
lack of
face.
socialism.
Yeah, because when we were growing up, that was so easy. It was so easy to just be like, to tell someone right then and there.
Or to
Oh,
figure things out on your own, like being able to, like,
well, where we're from, we always figure stuff on our own. But we're like when, let's just call it teasing. When you tease somebody, bullied them. When we were growing up, it was
it's
it
funny
was
how
right it was right in your
yeah.
face.
But we use
Now they
bully
do
as
it.
a bully, and
Now they do it behind a screen.
but they also use the word bully like it's like you dumb, like they use the word bully like it's like a saying, as opposed to actually
it.
bullying. I think 5 years ago,
That's interesting.
bullying was different. The word bullying was different. Internet was
Even
like
5 years
5
ago,
years, because
which
then
is
it's
not
like
which was
yeah,
no time ago. So
no
you think
time
it's
ago.
changed even
So
in
10 years ago, it was even more because
Interesting.
social apps and all these social media like Snapchat and TikTok, or like TikTok has blown everything up these days. Like forget about Facebook and Instagram. Now everything is relying on TikTok. You got 50-year-olds relying on TikTok. Like they wake up and they're on TikTok. Not me, but
I'm saying though, if it's another form of you getting money, that's what you got to do. Because I think that's what it's all about. It's about getting money. This might sound wrong, but I think the most of the people that don't feel like these social platforms are doing any good for anyone are not using it to get money, which a lot of these people are using it to get money. The problem is there's a lot more people just using the app probably just as the app and not to get money.
yes.
So those people are considered like the consumer because the people that are
They're not
using the
using
app
it,
for a
yes.
purpose, they're not really the consumer of the app. They're literally working the app
Yes.
as a way to make some business or to make money, whatever. Where if you're kind of the casual, let's just call them the casual, which is kind of like we are. Like if we go on TikTok, it's to look for a hot minute, just look around. Oh yeah, I see this. Oh shit, we saw that. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. Because it's almost like the local news, instant, right?
Yes, everything's instant.
So it's like we're the cat, but we'll see people. A lot of the stuff that will be on your feed is people getting money.
I know. But the problem
Even if
is,
it's slow, I'm sorry, Khalil, even if it's a slow process to getting money, they're still trying to matriculate through the system to finally get bread.
But it's become so like abroad now, where you so like lenient and so like dependent on these things. Like you basically can't function the day without looking and mesmerizing yourself hours on your device for that.
I might be guilty of that though.
Oh yeah, you are definitely guilty of not
Which-
working and being on your phone.
Just-
So
just-
there's
just-
a difference.
I'm
Like if you really think about the energy you put into the time that you do that.
What Berto calls it? What we call it? Stalking. You're a stalker.
Well, stalkers are people who are actually overlooking other people's stuff, but not physically posting, not themselves posting. They don't even have accounts. They're like
They don't even have accounts.
no, they're like freelancing
Ghosts.
it. Yeah,
They're just ghosts. Like, let me see
exactly.
who won. Let me see. Oh, this one looks good. No,
they
I'm
might,
talking about
or they might have the account, but they don't.
a
They
burner,
never post.
a burner account, right? That's what you mean by don't you have a fake name, and don't post nothing.
Or have their name, but they never post, and they're always following and peeking on other people's stuff, but they never post.
But you don't gotta follow.
No.
You don't gotta follow anybody.
But you don't have to follow, but you could still
look through the feed. Yeah, you go
and
through
the
your
people
feed.
get credit for that. If you stop and you look at a page,
Oh,
you're gonna
100%.
get credit.
You get a view.
Yeah, it's a view.
Yeah, no doubt, 100%. And then the longer the person stays on the feed.
But my thing is for those who are stalking other people's social media accounts, or just to see what they're doing or seeing what they're viewing.
Yeah.
Why are you hiding behind the screen and not posting or opinionating, or even throwing a picture of yourself? Why aren't you doing those things?
I have no answers for that. I mean, it's funny business, yeah.
But that's what we're saying.
But I'm talking about
stalkers.
I'm talking about the stalker. Like you just.
So you're opinionating on your own, but not opinionating so everybody can see.
Like silent
You're
opinion.
like, oh my God, you saw what she wore?
Oh, she looked
But
ugly.
you didn't post like, oh my God, why did you wear that?
Yeah, I get it.
Or you didn't like it. And you'd be like, oh, that's dope. But you didn't like it.
But you didn't like it. Oh, I think I posted something like that on some type of social platform.
I
Like,
have not posted in a long time because I have nothing to post about.
but I posted something like kind of what you said, like something like you looking at people's stuff, like your friend, especially friends. See, people that are now. Let's rewind a little bit. Let's get back on track a little bit. I know we was talking about our goals, but this turned into a certain topic of conversation.
Well, these are my topics because he has his own topics.
So like you have. So the social media is at such a place right now that it's like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. You know what I mean? So you walk somebody, they tell you, oh, I don't do any social media. You be like, what? You weird. Then you got the person who's on social media 24/7. What? You weird. Like.
I mean, that's how I was more than a couple of years ago. I didn't have none of that stuff because I didn't have like everybody was on Facebook.
Because you feel like as if you have to be on that platform or any platform and actually connect. Like you don't have to do all of that.
No.
You could be on the platform
but
and
then what's
enjoy.
the point of you making an account if you're not going to connect? That's stalker.
Well, yeah, but you can't but you also could just enjoy the app.
Because you have to
But you don't notice how every app now is considered business. If you're not, you have to use it for business. If you don't use it for business, what about just using it for fun? Like for the enjoyment of having the app.
Well, like when Facebook first came out, you had to open an account to browse through it. You can't not have a Facebook account. Instagram, you don't have to necessarily have a.
So you could download the app and just swing through it, and
or you could just.
No, you have to create. You have to create an account.
Because before I had an account, I was able to look through Instagram without having. Not that I saying I wanted to post something. Obviously, to post something, you have to create an account. But to look at somebody else's stuff, you didn't have to go through
Oh,
that.
you don't know, is it
Yeah.
still the same now?
Well,
God
I don't know
knows.
because
Yeah,
I'm
God
obviously
knows.
beyond that. I have an account,
But
so now I can just.
but I wonder if all the,
I
can you scroll through Facebook without having a Facebook
no,
account?
no. So like I don't have Facebook. No, I want Facebook. But if you send something to me, linked through Facebook, and I click on it, and because I don't have account, it's gonna leave me on that kind of screen that says
Oh, that's just saying you
create
can't.
an account,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you have to have a Facebook
And
or
what
go
about,
through Facebook.
but if TikTok and Instagram, when you didn't have an account and they sent you that particular link, you would be able to open it and view it without having the account? That's kind of what you
I think with
can't remember?
TikTok, yeah, with TikTok, I'm not on TikTok. I feel like TikTok is for kids, in my opinion. But I don't have energy for that.
I don't think it's for kids.
Not anymore because even 50-year-olds think that like it's
I mean,
cool,
there's a
and
lot more
60.
older people using that app and they're getting money through it. So
Yes, because
it's
it's
not
become
really,
more of like you know, some people think, oh, this is fun to do it as a family, which is cool. You upload stuff as a family, you do things because it's
What-
fun, but then at the same time,
when
it's
you,
become, I think TikTok
Like
has grown faster than Facebook did. I mean, Facebook has been out
a long time
for
now,
a
but
long
still.
time. Instagram too. Remember when Instagram first came out? It was like, oh, that's just an app for photos, because Facebook was everything: photos,
yeah.
videos, right? I don't really know too much about Facebook, and then they started putting like limitations on certain things.
Well, now that it's Meta and all of that, everything
Right.
is Meta.
Once it
Everything,
changed to
all the apps do everything
Right.
now, pretty much. Almost
But TikTok
everything.
has grown like
The growth of TikTok, when you're saying that it's beyond everybody, it was also kind of like one of the last social media apps to come out. So it had a lot of experience before it to look at
yes,
and create something.
advancement too.
Yeah, so they kind of had the cheat book.
Yeah.
They said, oh, that's how they did it. And then this new program came out and they survived.
And
That's
it
how
was
they
more
did it.
interactive because it is a more interactive app and
Well,
social platform.
Well, yeah, I think so. I could
Because
agree.
what I mean, Twitter is more of a verbal thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Instagram is more of a photo kind of thing because
it's
Instagram.
evolved, so it's not, but it's still Instagram. So I
Yes.
get it. The primary, when it first came out, yes.
It was more photos.
And Facebook was to connect. That's why they called it
As
Facebook.
well, yeah.
It was really to connect to people, right?
All over the world.
all over the world. Like
But then,
it's
businesses
advanced.
started growing with it because you can expand your business as far as, especially across sea, all over the world. You'll be able to reach out and touch
yeah,
through
I get it.
conversation,
I
work.
get it.
So
I
it
get
became more broad than that. And then, but TikTok is more
Right.
interactive.
I think so. I think
It's way interactive.
I think
And then
so.
Snapchat is.
Let's jump the gun. We have that was gonna be a little bit about pop culture. So I didn't know you was gonna bring the social media up, and I know we was talking about the goals and that we were reaching, for our future goals, but of the pod. Again, we love being all over the place because this is controlled chaos. You know what I mean? So with that being said, what she was talking about the TikTok stuff. Just a few days ago, maybe within the last week, they're trying to the country is trying to ban TikTok, and I think we talked about it, and you told me right then, you was like, yo, it's one of the fastest. It's like grown faster than all the other social media apps. What I didn't know at the time is that it's owned by someone who's Asian, or the CEO is of Asian descent. So America is jumping down his throat for whatever. Allegedly, they think he might be connected to China and all of that. And I'm thinking like, TikTok has been out for a minute now. It's not brand new,
No.
but it's grown so fast and so strong that, of course, America now is going to question
Well, everybody
something
wants to
that
eat
they
off of
can't.
something.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
something that they can't eat off of, but the people can. So since the people can eat off of it, but the actual country can't, now they want to ban it because
Well, they
I
want to
mean,
put limitations and
no, they want
well,
to
they want to
ban
ban it
it.
now.
They
Well,
want to take it
they've
off
talked
of.
about that a couple of years ago too.
No, but they
When
on
it
his
when it
ass now because
yeah.
of everything with China. So with that being said, we'll let that conversation because we're not really into that type of
Politics.
politics stuff. We let politics be politics. But I'm gonna say like maybe the entire world uses TikTok.
Well, yeah.
If I'm sorry if I missed the 100 million that don't use it, but I'm pretty sure like 4 billion people use TikTok.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying.
That's like
It's a
half the
fast
world.
growing, and it's for and all ages use it.
And I might be
use
way
it.
off on my number. I'm pretty sure. I mean, for all social apps, I'm pretty sure half the world uses all of them. You know what I mean? Some people, because pretty much they're all free, and yeah, you're gonna always lean to the one you like the most.
Yeah.
But still, people are using these apps, and like it's a
Well,
freedom of
yeah.
expression, freedom of speech, and all of this. And if you're like, I think they're touching they're touching an area that's really not important, but it affects so many people. The app.
But it gives people something to talk about.
Well, no, I'm talking about politics side though.
Well, yeah. It's always
They can't control it, so they don't want it to be.
not unless it benefits them.
Exactly. If it's not, they can't control it.
Yeah.
If they can't control it,
If they can't have it in the palm of their hand the way they want it to be elaborated and
it's
used
not
for them.
it's obviously it's not an American brand to them because
Well, then an American should have created it. And why are we hating on people who create other things?
There we go.
I mean, we all could benefit from it, but why is it that we're always bringing down something else or someone else for creating something? But then we want to use it.
But then, hey, we're fine with it. I don't think anybody would care who created it. The fact that it's here already. Some people now the opinion would be, it does bad, especially for the kids.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
does,
if
and
it's
adults.
if it's like creating harmful things, but it wasn't created to become harmful.
None of these social medias were.
No.
They were all meant for fun. This is what I mean. Like it was.
But there was never like a limitation on like what you can publicly say and do. And that's where then after everything is said and done, now you want to put a filter on things. Now you want to put a block on things. Now you want to put rules and policies on things. You got to do those things before. This is why like a lot of even apps like dating apps, they're not just putting it out without.
Dating apps was popular as shit for a minute.
That's scary. I wouldn't do that.
But I'm saying though, for a hot second, we were already grown. We were way into.
And then what they started with a few apps, and then they started creating apps within apps. Like different apps. And then they started creating just apps for different
ethnicities.
Yes.
Like you want to date Latins? Here you go.
And stuff like that. So, I mean, which is all cool and all that, but still, like, if you're a company and you're bringing out something, you're doing a run. You're trying to find out who it fits, and you're doing a test run. And and you got to have some type of politics in there.
Yeah. Rules. That's basically what you're calling the politics, rules.
But then you can't control things because people take things out of content and then they make it into a big situation.
We took that off the rails right there. I mean, we could kind of, that's what the world is kind of moving in that direction.
Yeah.
So it's been moving in that direction a long time ago. Especially, I mean, people that are already famous, it's even helped their careers more. People that were kind of famous and then kind of fade to black, social media's strength has brought them back to the forefront of
Yeah, but people like our age, they're still trying to figure out how to use stuff on social media.
Yeah, but if they're famous, You talking about famous people, or
Even
just
famous people who didn't grow up with social media, they're not doing their own content. They have somebody doing that for them.
for those who don't know how to do it? I agree. I agree 100%. But there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
The
It's just like-
kind of the point of being famous is to have your men, your team doing that stuff for you. You know what I mean?
But
Like,
then you have to be able to speak on it yourself, because you have
Oh,
your
you have
own
to learn
social
it.
media.
You have to learn it.
Yeah,
Yeah, no doubt,
And you
no
have your
doubt.
own platform. You have to be
Yeah.
able to know how to navigate through that yourself.
yeah, but
Because
in that
speaking
sense,
on it and then actually not knowing what it is.
but in that sense, they have the time to, because they have a team. Oh, so they could jump on it, create something, and keep it moving, and it looks legit to the outside world because they have a whole team helping them move this train.
Yes, and
Even
keep
if
on
when I
track,
say a
yeah.
whole team, I don't mean hundreds of people, but they have the team that they use to help them navigate this railroad they on, and if
Keep them aligned on,
and then
whether it's
it buys
image
them
or-
time to learn the process.
If they want to learn.
where-
If not, they'll continuously
where-
have somebody do it for them.
Or people like me and you, we don't have that luxury because we're not super famous yet, so we don't have this whole what's the word, like this whole the resources. We don't have the resources behind us yet.
Well, we kind of do, because let's say, like, if nowadays you don't even need to like hire people to do certain things, because you can just go on the internet and look up how you do something and do it yourself.
No doubt, but at the same time,
You could teach
at some
yourself
point,
to do
some
a
of the
lot of these.
resources you need are going to need bank. And when you're famous, that bank is easy to
Of course.
come by because you should technically have money already,
To do
right?
it, yes.
So at some point, that resource is going to come into effect, and the people, like, I don't want to say fell off, but the people that faded to black, and then because of the uprise of the socials, have come back to the forefront. They got bread. So when they jumped on it was a little bit more easy for them. They don't have to start from scratch, like what me and you are gonna try to destroy the earth with, right? We're gonna dig our claws into it. Well, you know what I mean? But what happens if we came into it? That resource of the bank resource would help
Well, it just makes
push
life a
it
little
push it
easier.
forward.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not talking about making life easy. I'm talking
Well,
about the
as far
process.
as the process.
The process easier of doing what we want. Does that mean you succeed in the whole goal? No, you can still fail. You know what I mean? That still people gotta like the product, like the
Right.
content, like.
And so do you.
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be biased at that point because it's your stuff. I'm pretty sure you're gonna like most of what you putting
Yeah,
out
but
there.
then most of the time when you do grow, you want more perfectionists because you have an image.
And that's exactly probably when the team comes. You start needing a full team
To keep
everything as
aligned,
perfect as
yeah.
it could be. You know what I mean? And it helps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Wouldn't it be great if me and you could just wake up and then you get your makeup put on for you?
Oh my God.
But wouldn't that help the process?
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Have somebody write down what I want to talk about.
Oh,
Pick out an outfit.
Thank you. See, you see where I'm going with it? This is what it's a, it's all, but when you're clawing from, when you start from the bottom, it makes it that much better if you get to your peak, whatever your peak is. You know what I mean? Like, it makes it that much worse.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I guess bringing it, I like using this full circle. Like, that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
That's probably our most major goal of this pod, to make it reach its peak, whatever that is, and
And grow from there.
and grow from there with keeping the authenticity and keeping the originality of both the show and us.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's awesome. I mean, man, like we took it to another level right there. I like that little conversation. I think we could go on deeper on that, but we'll probably do that like pillow talk or something. You know what I mean? Like, cause that's like we could do that off air and maybe one day come back to this conversation and
Well, like we
like
were
that
talking
we can go
about the
deep.
other day about like even like work process, like even getting a job and just like going through the steps once you're in a job, and it's no longer like one-on-one training. It's more like videos. It's just different. Even like applying for a job
Hey, you said
is
something like
different.
you don't
Like
no
you
more
know,
references. That's
like
what you said.
yeah, and if you do have references, just input it. You're putting it in through a application on the computer.
You guys remember? For any
I
of
mean,
you,
there were
for any of
times
you,
where you would go for an interview and it would be like a group interview, and then there was times where you would have to fill out an application and and wait on the line because 5 other people are ready to get interviewed for the same
I
job.
wonder if corporate America is still like that. I mean,
No, no, because
you know,
now they even do Zoom. Like they
that's
don't
facts.
necessarily want you to like be there. They
100.
want to. Some companies want to see what you look
That,
like.
that's
They'll have a 2 interviews, um, virtually and then in person. Then they're not sure. They want to have fulano, which is somebody else, come in and opinionate whether they think that you're good enough for their company. Meanwhile, you don't work with that person, but they need that opinion.
yeah.
So it's just a lot of
I,
things.
you think that's how it's moving now, or that's how it was?
That's
I
how it's
lost
moving
you.
now,
Oh, you think so?
of course.
Okay. Okay.
It's moving that now.
That's
Or like all your
hey,
training stuff is like, it's at your beck and call. Or you could do training on your phone.
that is true.
Like you could walk into
I
a
think I
work
think
for a
I
wake.
think that's another thing. Another thing is I feel like now they feel everybody has a phone automatically.
Yes.
They don't even question if you have a phone or not. They know that everybody has a phone.
Right. So like let's like in the workplaces and you're dealing with public or whatever. Like as a manager, like you're gonna have people on their phones. For you to tell another adult you cannot bring your phone on the floor.
Talk about
I'm no one's babysitter. And a lot of jobs now, there's cameras. So
everywhere.
it's cameras everywhere because there's no like actual like manager per se 5 days a week, 5 days a week in the store because it fluctuates, right? There's different management, people need days off. So there's not always somebody like there. If you're working in a huge company, there's cameras. They could oversee what you're doing
If they
when
really
they're
want
not
to.
if they're
If
not
if they
even
really
there.
want to, yeah.
Plus, they're putting trust in you, having to close their store, having to
That's
open
true.
their store,
That's
having to
true.
watch over their merchandise, having to come and to work and have a garter or like an armor truck come pick up deposits. They're trusting you,
That's true.
but they're also
I
overlooking you because
I never,
obviously
I wouldn't even have thought that far, but you're right.
yeah. So there's a lot of things, but obviously, if you get people saying, like I walk into this store all the time and no one greets me, but I always see like the people who work there on their phones.
Yeah, that would be weird. I mean, it
Or
would be.
you get people who walk into
What
they
would you
go
call
walk
them?
into a
Something
store
shoppers? The fake shoppers. They're really looking at
like secret shoppers.
secret shoppers. Yeah, there you go.
Well, and then there's people that just don't have lives and they go to the store and make people miserable, and then they go and they write reviews.
Oh man, I get that's the new thing too, right? Part
Yeah.
of the socials and all
Yes.
of that, the Yelps and all of that.
Yeah. So
yeah.
it's different. I mean, it's way different.
I mean, I think that slowly has taken over. I mean, it doesn't that give like restaurants? Yeah, that's how they get customers. People look at the reviews and
Well, yeah, it's supposed to give you positive, a positive
reinforcement.
reinforcement. Like, oh my God, like people love this place. I gotta go see it.
Yeah.
Like oh,
I
people
mean, you
say
do that.
it's great.
You do that yourself with products on like Amazon.
Yeah.
You look at the reviews. You're like, okay, people. Even if it's not even really about views being good or bad, it means that many people have touched the product.
Yeah. But that it also doesn't necessarily mean that it works for you.
No, but you know that people have touched the product,
Yes.
so you're like, I'll give it a try. You know what I mean? So
Because by popular demand, it's like you know,
which is all
really
part of that
good.
social stuff.
Yes.
That there, I like how we somehow come back around the
Full
table
circle.
without even thinking about it. So I mean, but it makes sense. That social stuff it is what it is now. It's part of our lives. It's going to be part of our kids' lives and their kids' lives for sure.
Yes,
For sure, 100%.
definitely.
So let's get into something else now.
Like,
Like we want to get into some. We want to go do our sports because that's the sports week, like we mentioned earlier.
but
Has
even earlier, like, well, late last
the,
week, earlier this week, they were
the,
talking about statues. Like, who's well deserved to get a statue in the NBA?
ooh, I think I hit you in the head. I didn't know we was gonna bring this up. This is
Because if you
but
really look into it, there's people who are well deserved that don't have a statue.
like when from our era you talking about, or
Yeah,
like
and eras before ours.
oh, and others, definitely others before.
So now it's
But
yeah.
me and we, meaning me and you, we know who those people are. All you gotta do is say the name, and we'll be
And,
like, "Yep,
and is there room for more than one person from that team to have a statue
of course." Because
in that
Shaq and
arena?
Kobe got their statues, and Kobe's gonna get like 2 or 3.
And then how many times a player who's been in different teams who've succeeded in those teams,
LeBron should get a Miami statue,
but does
and a
he get a
Cleveland
Cleveland?
Cavalier. You're damn real.
And
He's
does he
gonna
get
get a
a
Cleveland.
LA on top of that?
I mean, he did.
I mean, this is what
he
I
did.
mean.
He's done whatever you think he's done in the other teams, the other couple of teams he's been on before LA.
Right.
He's definitely done some things with that yellow and gold jersey on, which is eclipsed. I don't want. We're jumping around again. Buy us some time, but we need to buy us some time so we can get through our talk of sports. But if we're gonna go right into from the statues into LeBron, let's start with stay with the statues. Excuse me. Let's stay with the statues for a minute, because did you have ideas when you heard this conversation? When you were like, well, yeah, because this person needs a statue. Did you have?
Yeah, like what about Scottie Pippen for the Bulls?
Oh, so that's why you was talking about that's why you just mentioned why
Well,
multiple people, and I was just like, yeah, Shaq and Kobe.
well,
I am
and
not mad at that
yeah.
because you know you already know who you talking to
Yeah,
right
and
now.
then just
So-
the conversation came up even
but
like
what about
obviously
Charles Barkley?
Charles
With
Barkley too.
Phoenix and Philly, or just Phoenix? Because he put his foot in the NBA with Philly.
I know, but so
in
now
Phoenix, he
going
became
back
a
to
god.
like, so what are the criterias of you actually being able to be suited to get a statue?
It's funny you brought this up
Is
because
it
I
because
just
you have to have a champion and create some
no,
type
no,
of
it's not
content
about.
that
I
way?
don't think it's about being a champion. I think the statue has to be about your body of work. That's how I feel.
So what about
But
Stockton and Malone?
their fucking statue should be in front of Utah, front and center.
Is there one? No,
There isn't?
I don't think so.
Oh, we
Well,
don't.
maybe.
We don't. We're gonna say no because we don't know. But we could look it up. Isn't that what this is? We'll buy us some time. We might just bring that up randomly. Like, yes, they do. No, they don't. Like Google that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So Dirk Nowitzki.
Well, he has a statue.
He has his statue,
Yeah,
right?
so current
But
statues are like Michael Jordan,
Dirk,
Nowitzki,
Kobe,
Jerry
Shaq,
West,
Kareem,
Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal,
Yeah,
Kobe Bryant, George
Mikan, he was a Laker.
Walt
A
Chamberlain,
Minneapolis. Wilt Chamberlain played on a
Hakeem
bunch of teams.
Olajuwon.
Hawk, the
Yes.
dream.
And then new statues are like Bill Russell,
Larry Bird,
Red Auerbach,
Red All, the coach.
Scottie Pippen,
See?
Phil Jackson.
Ooh.
LeBron
See,
James.
they're thinking about putting coaches up there too, bro.
Yes.
That's incredible.
So like cultures will be what?
What do you mean? What would they be?
What are you considering? Like what culture? Like what? Like
Phil Jackson, so my coaches like that. You don't think Steve Kerr is gonna get a statue?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
What about like? But let's go back. Like, how about coaches like George Karl or what, Jerry Sloan? from Utah. Who else? What about Pat Riley? Hell yeah.
That's meant
What
to be
about
it,
what
too.
about the Miami coach now? Spokes. He
Yes.
deserves a trophy for sure. He's been there since dirt.
Right. Like, obviously, Steph Curry will eventually get one.
If you
So
say
then
so.
you have to.
He's a burger to me.
You eat burgers. But, so,
Yeah.
if going back to, like, Curry, he gets one. Shouldn't Clay get one? Shouldn't Draymond get one?
That's a whole trio. Yeah, I get it. But they deserve it. They put in the work. They also got a lot of things backing them.
Right.
But when you talk about players like Allen Iverson, I'm gonna say he damn sure should be outside Philly. You don't think Embiid is gonna be out there pretty soon? In the future, Embiid gotta be out that front. No, I'm wondering why Allen Iverson don't got his statue already.
But this is what I'm saying.
So
People who've accomplished a lot that put a dent in certain things
that's
still
a good
have
one,
not
y'all.
been able to.
Get your statue game up. Like every team probably has a good handful of people that should be statued out in front of their arenas. Almost every team.
And is there a limit of how many people you can put?
What about like Kevin Garnett in front of Minneapolis? Not Boston, Indianapolis.
Yeah,
So the truth should be out in front of Boston, no?
pretty much.
Right?
Yes.
He should be. There's no way the truth. Paul Pierce, he got to be outside the front. He held it down in Boston. He's part of that legacy. Bird, McHale, Parrish. After that group, it's basically like Paul Pierce. Like he was the next big and held it down for a good amount of time. That statue talk. I like that. That was a good topic right there. The statue talk. I clap it up for that. That was up my alley. No, that was honestly.
Absolutely. So that's pretty much it for that subject. But I know you want to talk about other things like sports and records and.
Well, yeah, I definitely got some pop culture. I mean, I think pop culture is everything like that we're involved in. At
It's
least.
about trendiness. Whatever's trending. That's
But
pop
I feel
culture.
like our era is always trending, even as we're getting
Because
older.
we adapt
Even
to all kind of. We could touch old school, we could touch new school, and then
and
we're
we're
in the
still-
middle of.
yeah, we still
Future.
do new shit too. We do new shit all the time. You know what I mean? And I feel like, we're to the point where people will be like the younger people will kind of be like, we don't really do that. And I'm like, you guys are doing a lot of what we did in a little bit different way, but you're still doing it.
Yeah, but we have basics. Like we
And we had
could relate to going back to basics, and
yeah,
a
we,
lot
we
of
always
this,
we always gave respect to the past. Our era, pop culture, I like it. Pop culture, it is what it is today, because I think our era paid homage to the era before us.
and
A
we
lot of
still
these,
do, yeah.
yeah. So a lot of these newer generation children, men, women, they don't pay homage to the era before them as nearly as much as we
Because it's
did
not incorporated in their lives.
in their lifestyle.
Yes.
But I think what they do is they skip over the generation before them and try to pay homage to like our era,
It's all
the-
by
the J-
popularity. It's not
the
by
Jay-Z's, the J-Lo's, the Beyoncé's. Like, those people are not from this era, and they're not from the era before this era. They're from our era. And I feel like these people are always reaching out to them. But what happened to the era that was right before you?
Because again, like it has to do what's popular and what stays that way, pop culture.
So,
So
but I think the way I'm
no
saying all of,
basics,
I'm
yeah.
saying all of this to get into this next topic, which is definitely sport related. My thing is I'm gonna jump into some sports, into some regular entertainment. But our generation, like our pop culture, it had all of that in it. Sports, entertainment was all in our culture. And whether it helped mold us or we helped mold it as a whole doesn't really matter because together we were
But the
dangerous.
internet wasn't as flexible and at the
No,
beck end of
no,
your call. Not
and I don't even
as
know
it
if there
is.
was internet in the
Not
beginning,
definitely not in
you
the
know.
beginning, but
So
then in the past 20
we
years.
were showing our age a little bit. I mean, but yeah,
But still, yeah.
we our generation of music is a lot of hip hop and R&B on that side of it, and as far as connecting to like uh, I mean, if we just branch out and say everything from business to play to trendiness from back then when we were younger, it was it was super connected, which I think it still is to this day. But everybody is kind of like shooting on their own. The generations of now kind of they go out and do what they need to do and then connect later on after the fact, like I said. And that's the difference between the generations in the in the pop culture, pretty much world of things. I think that's my opinion of it. But it's still they're trying to connect. They just everybody,
They connect electronically, not like socialized.
Oh, definitely. Oh, a perfect example of that
Any
is
information they want and need, they could just talk to their phone and get it.
no, but a perfect example. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Perfect example though is how, again, back in the days, our era, back in the days, well, we when we made music or we did things in other avenues of business, you had to get to that person and meet up. I'd say in the last 20 years, that's definitely changed where people are making records together and they're not even in the same country.
Yes.
So it's just about the connection that we have with our past and their connection. I feel like again they're reaching over and touching our era when they should be looking at the era right before them and then teaching the era after them, which I think is what we did in our era and our way, because our era is special, man. And I'm a transition from that, and we're gonna go into the sports like we wanted to do because it is our culture, sports, entertainment. You know what I mean? All goes hand in hand. And in the sports world this week that passed, a bunch of things were happening, right?
Record breaking.
Record breaking week, right? Especially for the sport of basketball, which is trending all the way up, right? Because basketball is like on top of the world right now as far as the sport. And yeah, this week was crazy for basketball. It was absolutely amazing. And we're going to start off with who we've talked about on our last episode, the Miss Caitlin Clark, breaking record after record after record. This woman has, just as of last week, became in NCAA college history, man or female, the scoring leader with something like 3,600 plus points. No,
Shooting threes and scoring.
yeah, just scoring in general. She's became the greatest scorer in college history, man or female, Division I basketball, with 3,600 points. So, again, talking about women that are coming out that are going to destroy the WNBA.
Yeah, this year is going to be crazy.
They're fierce. They're coming. And not only did she do that, 2, 3, 4 days later, maybe, doesn't even matter at this point, she breaks another record, surpassing
Stephen Curry.
Stephen Wardell. We call that man Wardell here. Oh, pretty in the face.
The silent assassin.
The silent babyface assassin. He's not a baby no more. He's a full-on goat. Full-on goat. Yeah, but she just surpassed Steph Curry and another man who Steph Curry had the record with. They were tied for first with the most threes made in one college season.
That's crazy.
The other man's name was Darius McGee. Him and Steph Curry held the record with 162 threes, if I'm not mistaken, in one season.
Yes.
Caitlin Clark has just surpassed that. So in a matter of 4 days, she broke 2 records in NCAA that no one had ever thought was probably going to be broken, let alone by a woman. Amazing. Amazing. Right? And she says something like, she says something like, I was trolling and messing around when I made that. You got to have some fun, Clark said, of her record-breaking 3. I thought our team had a lot of fun tonight. I'm just proud of our girls. And she said that's the exciting part about it, doing it with her
her
team.
shooting's just going to get even better because
she's already elite. She's basically not only the greatest scorer in NCAA history, she's also the greatest three-point shooter in college NCAA basketball history, man or female. So kudos to her, man. We gotta clap it up for her, man. We gotta clap it up. I mean, come on. I mean, she's probably like 18. In keeping with the theme of breaking records, we will move on and go into the GOAT.
the king.
He's a GOAT, though. There's a bunch of GOATs.
But he's known as the king.
I mean, yeah, he's known as the king. And he's a GOAT. He's not the GOAT of the GOATs, but
He's a GOAT of his time.
yeah, he's one of them.
There's
And
different
Mr.
GOATs.
LeBron James, making history at the young, tender age of 39, especially to us. The young, tender age of 39 in his 21st NBA season, he surpassed the 40,000 point mark. Incredible. Gotta love it. This is all happening in the same week, y'all. Like this is not just
In the sport of just basketball.
just the sport of basketball. This is happening in the same week. At the tender age of 39, he's broken the record for the most points ever by reaching this 40,000 mark. Now, last year he passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record of like 38,000 points, which was a feat on his own. But what he did right now, in a nice round number of the 40,000 club.
Which was going to happen because he's still in the league, so he's going to even break more records.
He got a couple of more years. He's probably going to hit 44,000, which...
But he's having fun, so
But the
that's what
records
matters.
are always meant to be
Be
broken,
broken.
but who's going to play till they're about 75?
The next person that conditions their body just as good as he does.
Oh, like that, looking like old man, like this. I got to get this one more bucket so I can pass the
Basketball's
record.
changed, just even like just your preparation for it. You have all that,
Conditioning.
yeah.
You gotta want that part of it if you're trying to get to where that man is.
And you invest
So-
your own money in it. It's not, something that you want to do.
100%.
So that's
So
one record.
that's like the third record so far, and then we're going into another record. This time, by someone a lot younger, 24, 25.
Who seems to be like a vet in the.
He plays like a vet.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been playing long enough where he's not new to the game as far as the NBA level. Mr. Luka the Don Doncic breaking NBA record. What did he do, you want to say? Well, he just scored 35 points plus, 10 assists plus, 10 rebounds plus in 5 straight games. Triple doubles. That's what we call them out here. And no one in the history of the NBA has ever done that
consecutively
in 5 straight games. So God knows where game 6. If he does it for his next game, it'll be 6 games. So he's just adding to that.
If he continues to do it for the next several games.
So I mean, this is just worth mentioning, man. We're on our 4th record in the past week being broken in the basketball world. This is phenomenal. It's pretty much awesome. And we still have one more that we're gonna mention, an honorary mention, coming out of Bucktown, Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
Brook Lopez, the big man in the middle. Yes, he broke a record in the NBA. For 5 straight years, this man has not only hit 100 3-pointers, but he has 100 blocks. Both ends of the fucking court. Your boy is balling. All right? And he is definitely not no young man.
No, he's
right?
been in the
He a vet.
Yeah.
He, you know what I mean? And he's a champion. Put that on. You know what I mean? Put that up there. Champion Brook Lopez breaking a record this season in the same week. Goes under the radar because these other names are bigger and bigger markets but yeah, Jay Blaze and Bobby Summers, yeah, we caught it. We caught it, Brook. Toodles to you, my brother, because in today's NBA, that's a very good look.
No, that just adds to his stats and his career.
It definitely his career. I mean, his stats, he probably wouldn't care less about the stat part of it, but, the change he had to go through in his game to evolve into today's game. Big man shooting threes and still rebounding and blocking.
Yeah, all-around players.
All-around players, man. So that was the basketball week with breaking records. We do have some NFL news, and we're going to jump right into it, man. We're going to give props to this dude who gave the last 13 years of his life to the NFL. We were the past 13 years, we've definitely have seen him play and make a name for himself and his family on Mr. Jason Kelsey, putting in those retirement papers, right?
Yeah.
Holding it down. I mean, what he did, his he had to build to get to where he is, and how he's known right now is not how he was known his first 5 years. So he put
work into it.
100%. His stats are looking something like let me just, it's not really, I'm not giving you his stats. I'm going to just give you a quick
overall,
like a wallet size of what he has done in the NFL. And he's a 1-time Super Bowl champion, 6-time first team All-Pro, and a 7-time Pro Bowler. He's been in the league 13 years. So for over half his career, he's been at a standard where they recognize who he is, which means, again, he put that work in, right? And
made a stamp in his position, and
that was overlooked.
Yes.
We were mentioning that, right? Behind the scenes, we were like, this man put eyeballs on a position. What's the most, even you would know, what's the most famous position in football?
Well, besides a quarterback?
That right there, the quarterback, right? Everybody knows you could be the worst quarterback in the NFL, but they know they'll have eyes on you.
Yeah, and the
right?
second one will be the person catching the ball to score.
Maybe the wide receiver, and then the running back.
Yeah, but it takes the
But
middle dirty.
those men in the middle that got their helmets on, nobody sees them, and
Make everything else happen.
usually they all got beards, like a la Jason Kelsey did, or when he started with the mullet. But returning to his retirement, I mean, the boy put in work, changed the game in his position, and
Still humble in it too.
100%. He not with him leaving, the eyes that are going to be on the position that he left, not only for Philly, for every center, which is the position he played in the NFL, you will now be scrutinized, because this man has set a standard, a bar, the way he handles himself professionally. He's done a tremendous job in the NFL, and I'm sure we'll see a lot of him on his pod with New Heights with his brother. So that's we needed to mention him, for football, and sticking with the theme of NFL and pop culture. We're gonna go to your boy Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Big talk all week about what's going to happen with Mr. Wilson. And
he's optimistic, so he's
him personally,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's with whatever. Oh, y'all don't think I still got it? Watch me. So what does Denver do?
They release him.
They release the boy.
Which everybody probably already knew that.
Everybody probably already knew it, but did they know that Denver was going to release him and take that
dip
financial hit? Your boy is getting $40 million this coming season, 24-25.
And they're losing money.
But not only is Denver they're gonna spend.
Well, they have to rebuild.
Well, I don't know if they need to rebuild. They need a quarterback. Mm-hmm. They need to fix a lot of stuff. But what they did by releasing Russell Wilson is that they have almost $90 million of dead money just lying there that they can't use, because definitely Russell, whether he plays or not, will get $40 million next year. He doesn't even need to pick up a football.
Funny how contracts work.
Especially when you know how to
maneuver through them.
Write one. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? So
protect yourself, because you're the one that's putting in the work and putting in your body and your livelihood.
Absolutely, 100%. I'm with it. I mean, it's all part of it. I mean, they want to call him old or say he's losing a step, but they started off slow and then he turned up. And then what Denver did, they benched him the last couple of games. Why? Because they, like you said, they already wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah, it's kind of sad situation.
It is. There is word about where he can go. I mean, maybe we'll just wait to see. And
There's
we'll mention a couple of teams that are out there that are good looks for him. But they're not the ones that are going to give him the $40 million. He'll probably sign for a couple of $1 million with the team he's signing with, but he still gets the $40 million from Denver. It might be 38. Sorry if I missed a couple of million, y'all. It might be 38. But that's the look Russell Wilson's getting right now. I mean, he officially was released, and I felt like that was a thing to talk about. I mean, that dude is considered one of the NFL's best players in this era. You know what I mean? Like, as far as just all together, the entire, in a whole,
right.
A career. He has, I mean.
His stats speak for himself.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, yeah, absolutely. And he's a Super Bowl champion already. So, I mean, we'll see how this latter part of his career ends, because I think it's only year 12 or 13. I mean, quarterbacks usually play 17, 18 years. Your boy got another 6, 7 years in the league.
Yeah.
Come on now. Let's
still feeling good about playing.
Exactly.
Still wanting to play.
Still having babies. He's working. Your boy's working. You know what I mean? So
he's prioritizing.
got a little checklist going on, Miss
Yeah.
Sierra. But that was the sports news. That was what we thought popped in the sports week.
Basketball had a good week.
Football
Football
has
had a
some
curious
stories.
week.
Yeah, little craziness. And then I want to end it with some entertainment, y'all. Especially getting Mrs. J Blaze's views on this particular topic. I'm gonna end it with some entertainment for sure. We got news of Mr. Cameron and Mr. Mason Betta purchasing Rockefeller. Yes. This is quite a story, I think, if it happened. They have their own little pod stream. Oh, I don't really know. I think it's bigger than just a pod. I mean, they doing it. They're moving big. Similar to like the Matt Barnes, Steve Jackson, their little pod. Like I don't consider it a pod. They're bigger than that. But I guess they're under the umbrella of podcasts. But you know what I mean? And I feel Mace and Cam is like that too. Like it is what it is. It's moving for them. You know what I mean? They created it from scratch and they moving. You know what I mean? And
They're telling their story how they tell them.
they talk about everything too as well. You know what I mean? But they also are in the entertainment world, so they have a shit
lot
that
more
they
to speak about.
on that side of the
experiences.
Yeah. Oh, just their past, which we grew up in. We know what they've been through already, and when they talk about it, people like us like to hear it. Even though we lived it, we still like to hear it through the horse's mouth, through their mouth. You know what I mean? Because at that time, people didn't talk about when stuff happened. It was if you was there, you was there.
Well, because you always heard it from someone else. You don't really hear it from the horse's mouth.
And now that social media has changed everything
You
now,
speak for yourself.
and
on
we're older.
yourself.
We're older. We're close to our 50s. You know what I mean? This is the era we come
So
from.
buying a label that they probably have rivalries with speaks a lot.
It speaks a lot. And how about Mason Cam's rivalry? Because they were like, we grew up in the same neighborhood. I actually went to high school. They're a little older than me. But I went to the same high school as them, and we lived in the same neighborhood, Harlem, El Barrio, all of that. You know what I mean? So to see them come up and be one of them people, you know what I mean, front row millionaires, that's a good look for, you know what I mean, for our neighborhood to have something to see and go, oh shit, I could do what they did. You know what I mean? And yeah, these motherfuckers bought Rockefeller.
Well, they're saying that they're like,
Allegedly.
yeah.
Hypothetically, if they did though, they talked about on their show that what would they do with this asset? That's the word. Asset.
But I'm pretty sure there's more people involved in that. It can't just be them two buying it.
No, it's them two buying it. Nobody else. It says around which can be below. Co-host Treasure was asked to do all about it. Oh yeah, because they asked them. They're asking them. So they were asked on their show on some random question like, did you guys just buy Rockefeller? And they were kind of like hush about it. You know what I mean? And they were just like, well, hypothetically, if we did, Mace was like, if I hypothetically bought it, I would hypothetically sell it to someone like Drake. And I thought that was amazing when he said Drake's name. People don't know, like Mace still he's still like out there, like he could still maneuver out there. You know what I mean? If he's about the bag, like if it's going to he puts himself where the bag is. If there's no bag, he's not there. Cam is more of he'll navigate through anything. You know what I mean? He's still a little bit gutter. You know what I mean? Like He'll navigate. The bag's there, cool. The bag ain't there. I'm not messing with that. But I'll walk on through. Mace don't even. He's just, the bag gotta be. The bag's not there. You're not even gonna see me, fam. Which I like. You know what I mean? It shows growth. It's both of them. It shows growth in both of them. They're both like so mature now. They've been millionaires for a long time, also. So they've changed. They don't have to be as rugged and rough and and growling at niggas all the time. You know what I mean? It's not, I think for a long time now, they've been enjoying the fruit of their labor. Is that a good way to say it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so, and I think they would agree. I wish I could talk to them instantly, just be like, yo, this ride you fucking been on is crazy. This I don't give a fuck what him or Mace would say. Cam or Mace, there's no way they thought they'd be where they at right now, coming from where we come from and how we came up. First of all, we was all about basketball when we was kids. So and they had the chance. They just didn't. Music took them. Music was like it was like another thing, and it brought them to where they were trying to get to with basketball quicker.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they went that way, and then it just took off, right?
But if it
Timing.
wasn't for those things early in their career, they wouldn't be where they're at right now. So.
Oh, no doubt. Good or bad, right? Good or bad. But these motherfuckers just bought Rockefeller. This is like the Mona Lisa of music. So even if you don't, there's a story behind this asset. So if they were going to sell, hypothetically, Cameron said he would like to sit on it and see what happens with this asset. Where Mace was like, no, I think I would sell it to a Drake.
You're going for the highest bidder right now.
I don't know if it's the highest bidder, but you're selling it to a good soul.
Yeah, but I would think if someone like Drake was interested, they would just be interested.
But I also heard on this show, allegedly, the boy Nas Escobar was interested as well. They didn't say Drake was interested. He said he would hypothetically sell it to Drake if he hypothetically had purchased it, because they weren't owning up to it as of yet. But but they also said allegedly Nas reached out, was like, you boys got that.
Maybe they're also speaking about other people who can invest along with them, because that just makes everything else even bigger.
No, they were talking about potential buyers.
Buying their part.
That they just bought.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, what Cam says, sitting on it makes so much more sense, because again, history and story adds value.
Yes.
A la Mona Lisa. You know what I mean? A la Rockefeller, the Mona Lisa of music, of hip hop.
Yes.
What comes with Rockefeller and the history and story, you're selling that. And if Mace and Cameron own it, and when they officially say they do, that adds to the history, right? And then if they were to sell it to a Nas or a Drake, that adds history to it, because now they're part of this purchase of an asset that's it's beyond, and like you can't fathom this type of stuff.
Well, we got to see what happens. See if they come full throttle and say. And
just be like, I mean, I haven't seen any episode since then. This is part of the week that I'm reviewing, and which is the past week. So we'll see if by next episode I'll see what's up. If I hear something, I'll mention it. If I don't, I mean, at some point later down the road, I probably will, or we will. You know what I mean? And something I just figured, I was like, let me tell you about this.
I haven't heard about. I don't follow them like that.
On the show, you just don't come up on your thing.
No,
is what it is.
No.
You like it. They talk a lot about sports. They're big on sports.
Yeah.
That's how they're French. Remember, they're from where we from. That's their bond. Their bond is through sports. You know what I mean? Before any of this rich shit. You know what I mean? So kudos to them, man, because if allegedly they did that, I mean, that's a power move.
For them, yeah, financially too.
Hell yeah, bruh. They doing big things, and that's a good look for niggas that come from where we come from. It's a damn good look. You know what I mean? It's a damn good look, and I like that. And you know what I mean? No matter what, even if they up there with all the famous people, it's still a good look for anybody who knows, who's young, and they're hearing stories of a Cam and a Mace coming from where they come from, and they see them on TV or whatever, on internet, whatever, music, all that. That's a good look. You know what I mean? Well, I think we were lucky to grow up in that era. I'm telling you, our era was the best, man. Our era, you can't beat our era. I'm gonna end it like that. Our era is one to talk about, man. We done changed the culture.
And we're changing with the culture. So
We're changing with the culture, and we changed the culture. If that makes any sense, man. But we're gonna wrap this up.
yes.
This episode is a donezo? Let's do it. That's what we're doing for this episode, man. We'll see you on the next one. Tune in. That's Jay Blaze. I'm Bobby Summers, baby. See you.
Once again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like, and share buttons. Follow us on socials. Also available on all platforms. See you next, where no topics are safe on the Everything Obsolete podcast.
The opinions and views of this podcast are strictly those of the host and guests and should not be replaced for help seeked out by individuals.